In 1995, when former owner Art Modell moved the team to Baltimore in the middle of the night, leaving Cleveland without football for 4 long years. Now, there's more controversy surrounding the team. Issues with player injuries and off-the-gridiron antics are one piece of the puzzle. The other piece is plans by current owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam to build a dome stadium in Brook Park, funded in part by unclaimed Ohio funds to the tune of $600 million. See a New Yorker from ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine to help us understand all that is happening. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody.
See, you are dialed into the community. You have your ear to the ground. I'm going to ask you straight up. Are Browns fans fed up by the team's lack of success and all of this stadium controversy?
Yeah, I can tell you that. I can tell you Browns fans are exhausted. And they really feel like, here we go again. You know, because this dragged out and we didn't know, are we going to stay on the lakefront? Are we going to Brook Park? What are we doing? There's so much fighting. We don't know, you know, just politics and this and that and unclaimed funds and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was just a mess. And so I feel like Browns fans are just like, all of this, we just want to win a game. We just want a good team. You know, we just want to see good football. You know, we're sick of all the politics. And so, you know, once again, they're just, you know, they feel like, man, here we go again. You know, can we focus on the football?
When the governor signed the budget into law, which included that $600 million earmarked for the Browns, that wasn't the end of the story. It was actually the beginning. Why all the lawsuits?
Yeah, but that was the thing. But it was a major victory. And I say victory with quotes, you know, because my goodness, I mean, this thing took months. It was months in the making to orchestrate this and to, you know, get all these deals and wheeling and dealing and closed door meetings and promises and press conferences and, you know, and so now, though, we're hearing and we're seeing these lawsuits, but, you know, they've already signed off on it. They've already said this is what we're going to do. They've already popped the bottles of champagne and said, you know what, this is what we're going to do. We've got the money. We've got our plan. You know, pretty much effectively, we're not staying down here. You know, this lakefront, we're done. We're going to Brook Park. And so it's, you know, like, again, people just so tired. People are just tired. They're like, we just want to see a winning team.
Well, Cleveland has talked about lakefront development since my late father was a child, and it never happened. Now, isn't that land more valuable without a stadium and a lakefront airport on it?
You know what? We'll see. Now I'm seeing stuff from the city. I'm seeing stuff from the mayor. They're talking about, we want to hear people's ideas. You know, there's the future ahead of us. You know, because the fear is, you know, without the stadium there, what's going to happen to that space? You know, people are afraid. We're like, you know, from August on, we're used to seeing games there. We're used to seeing action. We're used to seeing people, you know, excitement surrounding the team and all of the football. And now we're just like, what's going to be there? You know, what's going to, you know, people don't come down there that much. That was the draw. You know, the Muni lot, you know, all the things, all the activities surrounding the Browns. And so I've seen stuff from the city, you know, wanting to hear people's ideas. And so they're trying to be more inclusive and make city residents and Browns fans feel like, hey, you know, you have a voice in this too. We want to hear from you. You know, because maybe they actually really don't know exactly what they want to do with the space.
Well, one thing is for sure is that it's the only major city that sits on a waterfront that's never developed their waterfront.
Yeah. Oh, you know, and me, you know, I moved here about 10 years ago, and from, you know, I'm a native Hoosier, you know, from right next door, and I said, wow, this place is really beautiful. I'd never seen anything like it, and so, you know, for an outsider, a transplant like myself, you know, I'm like, well, they got to build this thing up. Like, what's happening? You know, why doesn't our lakefront look like Detroit or Chicago or some of the other places? You know, and for me, I'd always thought, oh, it's in the works, it's going to happen. But, you know, when you get here and you talk to, you know, longtime old faithfuls, and they're like, no, I think so. People, there's just an exhaustion there of wondering, what now?
Well, and also a reticence to let go. Their new attempts to halt Brook Park groundbreaking, citing lease-specific clauses with Huntington Bank Field. How likely are those to stop forward progression, or are we just, spitting in the wind?
I honestly, I think they're gonna try everything, but honestly, the biggest hurdle they've won.
Right.
They won the biggest hurdle. They got this money, the unclaimed funds. They have our lawmakers that have signed off on it. The governor signed off on it. So they cleared the biggest hurdle. I think the rest can be, all figured out. So I don't want to say it's you hate to say it's a done deal because we don't have a crystal ball, but the biggest showdown over this was settled when the governor signed off on this.
Now, this is before your time, but the Cleveland Cavaliers used to play in Richfield. They did for years, and not once did the Cavs ever call themselves the Richfield Cavaliers. Brook Park is inside Cuyahoga County limits. So the question I have for you is, why is County Executive Chris Ronayne so opposed to the Dome? Because the money's not leaving the county.
Some of this is the optics of this. You have this law, that says, one thing, and you want to see and hear. You've made this promise to, the residents that this is what you were going to do. From having interviewed and talked with him, I do believe he really believes that it should stay down here and that it could work. We can make improvements. So I can see why. I can see you can hear the passion in his voice.
Well, we've got 3 more seasons to watch this play out, and I can tell you one thing in closing: this old broadcaster is wacko for Flacco.
Joe Flacco, man, let me tell you, Joe Flacco, when he's on, he's on.
Yes, he is. We want to thank Sia New Yorker from WKYC in Cleveland for being with us today, and there is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Rothman and Ice.
It's more evidence that you need to subscribe to the rule Bobby and I subscribe to.
What's that?
If you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now you can get 50% off all window styles plus no interest until 2030. Stop procrastinating on upgrading your home. Call 866-90NATION or visit WindowNation.com today to take advantage of Window Nation's best deal of the year.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at MasheterFord.net. Thanks.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And Bet and Reduce Juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin. Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Once again, FC Cincinnati and the Columbus Crew stand at or very near the top of the MLS Eastern Conference standings, with only a few points separating the top four teams. We have a little less than 3 months to go before the playoffs begin. Soccer guru and play-by-play announcer extraordinaire Neil Sika joins us on Ohio Sports Magazine to talk all things Major League Soccer. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, Jay. Whenever you roll out the red carpet for me like that, I feel fantastic. But we've got to do that for you. 40 years in the business. What a remarkable accomplishment.
I'll tell you what. Thank you. I'll give you $20 and you can give it back to me and we'll call it even.
Check's in the mail, yeah.
That's right. All right, let's start with the Crew. What does the team need to do to catch FC Cincinnati this year, or is that even possible?
I think it's very much possible. I think the problem, though, in the Eastern Conference, there's so many good teams. Miami is starting to climb. Messi is on this ungodly run right now. Cincinnati seems to be the only team to tame them. Columbus, which just beat Cincinnati. This is what I'm getting at. I think every team in the East is going to beat each other up. Then you just had Nashville, who's had an excellent season. They just beat Columbus. Philadelphia is in the mix. Orlando, I still think, can be very good. And Columbus has Orlando coming up. So the ability for each team to kind of pluck each other off, with Miami maybe having the inside track because they've got games in hand, could make the big difference, I think, in the Eastern Conference. But if you're Columbus and you're Cincinnati, you really like where you are right now before the stretch run of the season, entering Leagues Cup and the All-Star game this week.
How many goals can Diego Rossi score? He leads the team and is the second highest scorer in the league. What do you think?
He's been a Golden Boot winner before. The other thing is there's so many good goal scorers in the East. If you think of Evander, think of Messi. Messi and Surridge right now have 18 apiece to pace the way. And Rossi, who's put up 10 goals, which is very formidable. But I think this is where Columbus can separate themselves. I've been on this show before telling you that if they add a number 9, an elusive number 9, not only will he provide goals, but I think it'll help Rossi. they were maybe intending for that with Daniel Gazdag, but he hasn't really kind of come to fruition. Had his first goal against DC over the weekend on a penalty, which I think was big for him. Diego Rossi's always going to be a runner. He's always going to get his opportunistic chances, and that's where he gets his goals. I think if you get a true out-and-out number 9, then that buoys both him and the rest of the roster. But I still think he'll finish around 15 goals.
I'm going to try to pronounce this name. Is Lassi Lapalainen the guy?
Lassi Lapalainen is a nice player, often injured, though, in his time in Montreal. Wilfred Nancy knows him from there. I think him being an addition as a winger or someone who can play wide, he's very creative. The question is, can he stay healthy? And I think more so he's a fluid piece to the system rather than the answer.
And both he and Gazdag, they certainly took their time to get their first goals this season.
Yeah, and I think that is the befuddling thing. Daniel Gazdag has been one of the great goal scorers in MLS in terms of just volume and production over the last half decade. Now, a lot of those came on penalties, and it was good to see him finish the way he did against DC United. But I think his crafty runs, he's kind of similar in a way to play like a Rossi, where he runs off of guys in the box. He's a late arrival, kind of a box-to-box midfielder at his time playing for the Hungarian national team. So for him to act as the 10 like he did for so often in Philly, he was combining with different types of players. And you would think that would fit with the Crew system. He's had chances, hasn't converted. I still think if you get another guy in there, it takes the pressure off him a little bit more.
Let's cruise down I-71 and talk about FC Cincinnati. They've literally dominated the Eastern Conference this year, but as you said, the Crew continues to be their nemesis. May was a tie. A few weeks ago, the Crew won 4-2. Why is the Hell is Real series so important to these teams?
Well, I think what you've seen in Ohio soccer over the course of this rivalry taking off in 2019 is both organizations and clubs have invested in a matter of stadium, youth development, player development, and putting the right products on the field with their coach, and also the coach development with Pat Noonan and Wilfred Nancy. And I think you've created what could be the next great rivalry in Major League Soccer. El Tráfico, LA, and LAFC never seems to disappoint. But for this matchup, you always have highly competitive games. They're intense. And I think what really flipped the switch on this rivalry was when they met in the playoffs just a couple of years ago in the Eastern Conference Final. Cincinnati was the best team in MLS. Columbus went down there, came back from a 2-0 deficit. Eerily similar, even though the stakes weren't as high in their most recent matchup when the Crew came back from 2-0 down and scored 4 unanswered. That was kind of a little bit of a warning shot for Cincinnati. They're an excellent team that plays well in tight games. How many one-goal games they've won over the last 2 years is the most in MLS. And I think they needed a reset, and they got it when they licked Miami in midweek 3-0, held Messi without a goal, shut them out. So Pat Noonan got the most out of his group after that game, and I think it came at a good time for them, even though Columbus took the spoils in a rivalry like that. I think it set Cincinnati up better for the long run.
Now, Kevin Denke has been a vital part of Cincinnati's team as a scoring leader, but I would submit to you that FC Cincinnati is better defensively than they are offensively this year.
The thing with FC Cincinnati, and I think with Miles Robinson coming back from the Gold Cup, their defensive structure, I think, allows them to be in these tight games and win tight games. Right now, I think the difference, though, between Columbus, and it's not that disrespect to Diego Rossi and Cincinnati, but Cincinnati has Denke, who's currently injured, but they have Evander, a guy that they got for $10 million, which seems like a bargain from Portland as their designated player, and he just seems to pop up and win games time in and time out. He's had an incredible month. What an acquisition. They lost Lucho Acosta, and through that soap opera, you think you're losing one of the best players in the league. And I think they've actually leveled up with the type of player that Evander has become in Cincinnati. Early in his career, when he joined Portland a few seasons ago, many were wondering, he can make a play, but does he care game in and game out? We've seen that this season from him, and that's one of the reasons right now. They're leading the East, and I think they have a slight better ceiling at the moment than Columbus to make a deep run in the playoffs.
All right, we will talk again in about 6 weeks and see where we are as summer becomes fall and we get closer to the playoffs. Thank you, Neil Sika. And there is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See, we didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
It's the height of the summer, and that means summer slide is a risk. We know students can lose some of what they've learned when they're out of school. You can help fight summer slide by playing fun educational games with your kids. Dice and card games especially help keep math skills sharp to set up your student for success in the fall.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
The Columbus Clippers finished the first half of the season with a record of 34-38, ending on a 3-game win streak. In the second half, the team has flirted with a 500 record, but faces stiff competition from teams like Indianapolis and Nashville. Joining us now on Ohio Sports Magazine is Clippers Director of Broadcasting, Ryan Mitchell. Welcome, as always, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well. Hope you are also, and always glad to be with you.
It's always a good season for baseball when we get a chance to talk. And prior to the start of the season, we actually had the chance to talk to new president and general manager Tyler Parsons. How has the transition been after Ken's retirement? 48 years is a long run.
Well, Ken is not retired quite yet. He's still with the team. He's the president emeritus and kind of facilitating the transition. And as you mentioned, Ken has been with this organization for a long, long time, and integral in the building and maintenance of Huntington Park. Really one of the crown jewels in all of baseball, not just minor league baseball. Huntington Park is just about as good as it gets, and there is no bigger reason for its existence. And Columbus's ability to enjoy it than Ken Schnocky, and certainly I'm hoping that someday there's a statue of him standing out there next to Harold Cooper. And he's got big shoes to fill, and Tyler Parsons, I think, is up to the task. This is a guy that's spent time at a lot of different levels of minor league baseball, learning the business, understanding what works and what doesn't. Every market is unique, and he gets to kind of start fresh in a new place that he's never been, but he can bring all the lessons he has learned from the places where he has put his mark, like Lansing and Durham. The Durham Bulls are a very well-known brand, and he was a big part of that franchise for a couple of years. So it's going to be very exciting to see what new ideas Tyler has. He's already brought quite a few to the Columbus Clippers, and I think the city's going to embrace him. And there's such a steep learning curve when you move to a market that you've never been in before. The business people around, the politicians, all that sort of thing. And Tyler has the kind of personality I think that's going to fit very well. And I think the future is very bright for the Clippers. And you go from one leader who has been here for almost 5 decades to another who is, a younger guy with vision, and hopefully he'll be here for many, many decades and leading the Clippers into its next iteration. And boy, it's an exciting time for Columbus Clippers fans.
One of the things he said is, make no mistake, we are here to serve at the pleasure of the parent company, which is the Cleveland Guardians. And you and I both know that this year the Guardians have suffered from a lack of offense in the first half of the season, recent games, excluded. But who do you think is most likely to be called up to help the Guardians with the bats?
Well, it's a difficult question because it's not just who's the best offensive player, not just who's hot right now, but there has to be – it's a puzzle that you have to put together at the major league level. So you have to add somebody to the 40-man roster if they're not currently on it, which means you have to take someone off your 40-man roster. There has to be a positional matchup. If you're a really, really good third baseman in the Cleveland Guardians minor league system, I've got some tough news for you. They got a guy at the major leagues who plays there every single day, and if you can't find another position, it's going to be tough for you. But C.J. Kayfus has hit all year long. Started in Double-A Akron and just mashed there, and he's come up to Triple-A, and he's continued to hit well. The batting average has gone down a little bit, but that's the adjustment that Triple-A pitchers are going to make to you, and now the chess match is, what can you do to adjust back? And Kayfus now has 13 homers for the Clippers. He's got a .292 average, and his OPS is .935. So he has been the top offensive performer. Chase DeLauder has been missing some time recently. He's going to get evaluated and see exactly where his health is. But, those are some of the big bats that a lot of folks have been talking about. And, you got Jhonkensy Noel here, who has been in the major leagues most of the year and, still can be a contributor. He just has to be more consistent. And if he can do that, he can absolutely be a major league player.
When it comes to pitching, who do you like on the team right now?
Parker Messick has been the most consistent starter for the Clippers this year. He's got the standard 4-pitch arsenal for a starter. He's got the fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup, and his changeup is just a devastating weapon. He uses it at the right time, which is also partially a credit to the Clippers catching core, who calls the game. But the fastball doesn't just blow you away with velocity. It'll be top out around 93, 94, but he's got good command of it. It's got good ride, and he complements that with his other offerings. More importantly, I think, though, is his demeanor and his bearing on the mound. He just doesn't get shaken. When something is going a little bit sideways, you don't see it from him. He just continues to battle through, and that's one of those things that is, I don't know if that's harder to teach than a good breaking pitch, but if you have that, you can weather storms and let your stuff play and maybe get back to things that were going well for you earlier. So Doug Nikhazy's been up and down a few times as a starter this year between Cleveland and Columbus, and certainly is a guy that can do a good job Vince Velasquez is a veteran pitcher who has, he's been in the major leagues for over a decade for most of the time, but coming back from Tommy John surgery, missed all of last year, had a tough start to the year, just trying to refine the command coming back from Tommy John surgery. But boy, in the last 2.5 months, he has been one of the best pitchers in the International League, and so we'll see if there's an opportunity for him, but he continues to make the most of his opportunities in Columbus. From the bullpen, you've had some guys that have been up and down this year between the major leagues, as always happens. Zach Kent, Tim Herron is down with us now, Nick Enright. Franco Aleman is probably the most tantalizing guy in the bullpen. Upper 90s fastball, good slider, but he just has to figure out how to use that arsenal and stay within himself. And if he can do that, he's a major league pitcher.
Now, we will have another conversation probably in about 6 weeks or so when we talk about the expanded roster for the Guardians and who's going to be going up at that point in time. But between then and now, you still have some games to win, and we want to thank Ryan Mitchell for being with us today. And there's more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Bishop and Friends.
The Playboy party school list, Boulder was always up there. It was up there with Madison and with Athens, I should say.
Reading the articles.
Well, that's what you're there for, right?
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor The Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Do you need a vehicle with more room for the family vacation this summer? Then the Chevy Traverse is for you. This month at McDaniel GM Superstore, you can get up to $3,500 off MSRP on a 2025 Traverse for qualified buyers. McDaniel has been making a difference since 1916. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fan 10 weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. Heat and humidity stick around here for the weekend. That will also fuel the chance for a few scattered showers and storms. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s, but we're back to the 90s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before a big cool down with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 here on Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. This is ONN.
The Big Ten Conference held its football media days this week at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. All 18 conference members had their football coaches in attendance, along with select players from each team. One of the things that's been discussed in recent weeks is the expansion of the college football playoff from 12 teams to 16. It could also include 4 play-in games from the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conferences, something that has been argued will provide more opportunities for teams to participate in the postseason. One of those voices is Conference Commissioner Tony Petitti, who stumped for the playoff expansion model that would provide the Big Ten with 4 automatic qualifying spots that would be decided by play-in games during Conference Championship weekend, including the Conference Championship game. Paul Feinbaum covers college football for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS FM in Columbus. Paul says nobody else in college football is really interested in a play-in playoff model.
The number one thing that Tony Petitti had going for him up until the last couple of weeks is he had the biggest and the baddest drafting partner. And I heard it on our show, and we have a couple of callers from Columbus and around that area, and they were proud of it. Listen, put aside the rivalry, which is always there, but they felt good being in the same boat. Now, I don't know who feels comfortable being in this Big Ten boat. And Sankey, I think, was pretty magnanimous last week, saying, "Yeah, I talked to Tony 3 or 4 times today." And I mean, he didn't let on, but after this week with Petitti, everyone knows where he is, and he's just kind of taken the air out of the balloon, so to speak. And nobody is going along with that plan. I mean, the coaches, they may have, some of them may have said okay, but the system is pretty well established right now, and it's Tony Petitti who's holding up progress.
Yeah, I agree. And he did something that I never thought I would ever say, which is I become a fan of James Franklin, because James Franklin gave about a minute answer, Paul, and I'm not expecting that you maybe monitored this, but he gave about a minute plus answer of what the heck are we doing in Las Vegas? Like, what are we doing here? And that a lot of the beat was unable to even go from a lot of these powerhouse programs because they couldn't afford it or the travel was too much. And he said that, the atmosphere in Las Vegas, there wasn't signage, there weren't fans, and of course there wouldn't be. It's Las Vegas. You think they care about Indiana football? Indiana doesn't care about Indiana football. And I think that's the thing that's so frustrating for us in this market, is it feels like this league doesn't know how to play the hits.
Listen, the Pac-12 went to New York a couple of years ago. That was just to gain some traction. Big Ten has no business being in Vegas, and the SEC for about 20 years, their media days was in Hoover, Alabama, which is a suburb of Birmingham. I mean, it got so bad that the hotel, I didn't feel safe staying there the last time we were there 3 years ago. But why was it in Hoover, Alabama? A couple of reasons. Number one, there's 100 sports radio stations in Birmingham alone. I say that hyperbolically, but it looked like a big deal. And when Nick Saban walked in, you saw the shot. It looked like mania. There's 1,000 Alabama fans who live, by the way, within about 2 miles, and they showed up. Last week in Atlanta, this is the second year in Robo, we were in the same city at the same time as the All-Star game, and it hurt. It was a lifeless media days, and I had SEC people asking me last week, where do you think we ought to go next year? Because we're not coming back here. I said, just don't go somewhere where the All-Star game isn't. That matters visually. It doesn't matter internally, but you don't want one of your top coaches blasting you because he had to travel 5 hours.
No, you don't. You don't want that at all. Dan Lanning had some interesting comments. One of the things he kind of was hoping for, and this gets back to the college football playoff conversation, was, and this is something I've advocated here for on our show, is a tightening up of the college football playoff. And he was saying wrapping by January 1. I don't know if you could do that. I don't know if there's enough weeks for that. You'd have to play, every week, obviously. But I've always been a proponent of, let's get this thing done and out of the NFL's way by maybe that first full week in January. it doesn't feel like that's coming as we've had these things scheduled out all the way in January. But should it be something that they discuss when they figure out the future of this sport?
It should be, but the thing Dan Lanning said, which we absolutely have to adhere to, is the week 0 being the start of the season. Yes. I mean, I'm on ESPN, Bo. There's nothing going on right now. Mm-mm. I mean, there's a reason why if you put on ESPN1 at this moment, there's Little League softball on, okay? Yeah. Because other than the Cowboys, I mean, I've done the ESPN shows all week. It's the Cowboys, it's Aaron. Now it's Justin Fields getting injured, and then hey, let's go out to Vegas and talk to Heather Bendich. I mean, it's almost forced in, it's baked in, and the season has to start. I would be in favor of starting a week earlier. I mean, I don't really care. It's hot everywhere. I mean, it's 102 degrees where I am right now, probably hotter where you are. It doesn't matter. It's a television sport. It's no different on August 21st than it will be on September 21st.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to geteco.com.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 7/31/25.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina. Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services. You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is ONN.
The Cincinnati Reds have been hanging just outside of that final wild card spot for quite some time right now. They've got up to about a game and a half out, all the way down to about 4.5 games out. Jeff Carr joins us now of the Locked On Reds podcast, and we've seen the Reds do some different things this year to try to get more offense. One of those this week was moving Noelvi Marte to the outfield. Talk a little bit about that move with Marte to the outfield and how much it just shows the Reds need to be better against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, I'm curious about this a bit because the Reds have really tried a bunch of different options out there, including Garrett Hampson, who obviously wasn't cutting it very well. And quite frankly, Connor Joe has been fine against right-handed pitching this year, but he's not been amazing at it. You just don't see the power from him. And Noelvi Marte has been a complete hitter at the plate. Now, it's kind of intriguing that he has reverse splits against lefties right now. He's actually better against righties than he is against lefties. But I think it's just about making sure that they keep his bat in the lineup no matter what. And I don't believe that they're moving him to the outfield to get Santiago Espinal more reps at third base. I almost wonder if they have made calls. And there's so many reports, and, you know, we're probably going to talk a lot about the trade deadlines. We're heading into that. But there's been so many reports about what the Reds are looking for and all this other stuff. I wonder if they found the outfield market too thin and they're getting a little bit closer on acquiring maybe even a third baseman. And so do you keep Noelvi Marte's bat in the lineup by moving him to the outfield? That would seem to be an interesting strategy.
You mentioned the trade deadline, the Reds front office coming out this week. It sounds like they are going to be buyers. I would think a right-handed hitting bat is one of those things. What are some other things we can look for the Reds to be interested in here as the deadline approaches?
Got to be some bullpen help, whether that is a closer that kind of moves everybody down a peg and gets them in a more comfortable position. Like I feel like Emilio Pagan has done a nice job as a closer, but I think that he's better suited to be the setup man in a playoff bullpen atmosphere. So I'd like to see the Reds get a closer, but if not a closer, definitely going to supplement the middle relief because we've really seen that break down here lately. I mean, obviously Monday's game against the Nationals was just one of those clunkers that you have every so often. But there's definitely been a few games over the last few weeks leading up to the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break where it seems as though the weaknesses in the Reds bullpen has really been on display. So if they can solidify that group through the trade deadline, that feels like a big area of need. And then with that right-handed bat, like how good is that player going to be defensively? I know that Brad Metter has said that is a big emphasis for them, that they don't necessarily want to get a guy who's all bat and no glove because they like the idea of rotating their DH in and out and giving guys some pseudo off days without taking their bat out of the lineup, things like that. And so I think that's where they're going to prioritize things. It won't necessarily be a guy that is overwhelming with his value at the plate and maybe a liability in the field.
Something that would definitely have helped the Reds is a healthy Hunter Green. Do we have any updates on his status?
He has been throwing. I know that he's done a couple of bullpen sessions, and it looks like he's going to get out there in some games in Arizona in the Complex League. And then if all goes well, he'll transfer his rehab out to Louisville. The interesting part about how quickly that's going to move things is I don't necessarily know that we see him before the trade deadline. I think that we will see him maybe second week in August, as long as everything moves smoothly and as long as there are no setbacks, because we are talking about a soft tissue injury and something that just hasn't gone away for him. As much as tests continue to confirm it's not gotten worse, it also hasn't gotten any better up until now when we're hearing that he's throwing pitches and he's not feeling that discomfort. So hopefully he can continue to do that, because without Hunter Green, this starting pitching staff is good, but you worry about it moving forward, especially with starts like Brady Singer had on Monday. He needs to come back to make us feel a lot better about where the Reds stand in the playoff race.
Jeff Carr of the Locked On Reds podcast, our guest. Jeff, thanks so much as always for your time.
Appreciate you. Go Reds.
More of the Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
I love my public school. My teachers are awesome. And everyone who works here makes sure I have what I need to learn and be my best. My classmates and I need your support too. Please stand with the Ohio Education Association to ask for the fully funded public schools every kid deserves.
Ohio's public schools are the heart of our communities. They're safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive.
Because in Ohio, public education matters.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys chatted about what are the biggest strengths and weaknesses of the Cleveland Browns 2025 roster.
What do you think is the strength of the Cleveland Browns 2025 roster?
What position group?
Yeah.
That's easy. Go ahead.
Defensive line. That's easy.
I don't know that it's easy. I think a one-proven player.
Yeah, but he is the best at his position by far.
That's true.
I mean, if we go even projected best group or projected strongest group, it's still a defensive line. Myles Garrett is one of the best players overall in the NFL. Top 5 talent. Right there. I mean, Mason Graham was drafted in the top 5. He should hit the ground running right away. Mike Hall, I know he's kind of like dealing with recovering from an injury, but you have him sitting right next to Graham and Myles Garrett, and then you have McGuire and Alex Wright on the other side. If you look at any other position group on this team, I can only assume that fans will feel more confident in their production versus anybody else's. Maybe the DB room, but I would go with the defensive line.
I would say I agree with you. It's not like easy to say that, but it's because of how talented Myles is, and because they added such a talent, I think, in Mason Graham to top 5 picks. So them, and then I don't know who would be second. I wanted to say maybe running back receiver.
Before the Judkins situation, I was feeling good about the running back, but I'm going to disagree with you guys and go offensive line. I got more proven talent on the offensive line than I do on the defensive line. I know they struggled at times on the offensive line, and they're older and they dealt with injuries. But when it's all said and done, Jack Conklin still had a good year. Joel Bitonio was really good in the second half. Wyatt Teller is still really good. And we're doing some projecting, right? If we're gonna say the defensive line, it's all projection.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Open the door to huge savings with a new Ideal garage door. Choose from our large in-stock selection or design the perfect garage door for your home using our free design program. Visit us today in store or on Menards.com and get an Ideal garage door that's right for you. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the US. Drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
We want to thank Ryan Mitchell, Neil Sika, and Sia New Yorker for being guests on this week's episode of Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Colin Behringer, Eric Reeser, and Ryan Baker, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine, and join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.